Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Good morning, Glenn.
So, my brother, I'm enjoying my coffee this morning. I have a boiledowlcoffee.com roasting company.
Yeah, and you got a mug, and thank you for the mug. I got a mug. Yeah,
I know mugs are awesome. And our guests here at the retreat, our retreat series, are getting a bag of Boiled Owl coffee, roasted small batch roasted coffee.
Okay,
Kelly's going to pass.
Bring that up for the next guest.
Kelly's going to pass.
Maybe Boiled Owl coffee has like
tea,
water.
How about water?
Yeah, just labeled
water. How about roasted water?
Right.
That's awesome.
But anyway, yeah, we have a table for three.
I love
today.
it, man. Great to be here with you.
We're remote from a retreat. Brian, our engineer, and Zach, his extraordinary support and technical guru of many fronts, has plugged in us live. We're in Frankfort, Illinois. We're at a retreat, and we're joined this morning by a friend that I've known for a long time from a Zoom meeting, a 6 p.m. Zoom meeting.
Yes.
And she was at the retreat, and it's so good because you travel the country, right?
Yes.
So to have you stationary in one place is a real treat for me. So we got, Kelly saying, yeah, treats for me. Anyway, good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's
good to be here.
Good to see you here today. And Glenn, you were at the whole retreat. I missed a little bit of yesterday morning because I had a prior commitment, but I came on board. And the theme of the retreat is seeds we sow. Glenn, am I saying that
seeds
right?
we sowed, either and we're looking at seeds as either actions or decisions.
Okay.
What actions or decisions did we sow that drove us to how I referred to it, alcoholic hell?
Okay.
Right?
So that was the first one.
Then, right, what seeds or actions or decisions did we sow during early recovery to get us on? What did we do to get us on the recovery path? Things that worked, right? And hey, sometimes we sow seeds and they don't work, right? But that's why you plant many of them, not just one.
Right.
And then, our session this afternoon is, hey, what's it like today, right? What seeds are we sowing today to continue that path on the recovery journey? And so I'm looking forward to that. And one seed might even be keep coming back, right? Perseverance.
Right, sure.
Right? Because a lot of people think they get it.
Yeah.
Like I work with some guys and they get it, and I'm too busy to go to the retreat this weekend.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That tells me where you're at, right?
Right, exactly. Right. You're not throwing any seeds out there. So they did a sobriety countdown. So you had all these people in the room, and it's like, all right, who's got, the most sobriety? Who's got 30 plus years? A couple hands go up. Who's got 20 plus years, right? And then they wrote it all down, and then collectively there was like, I don't know what the number was. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
A big number. But if I don't mind outing you were on the top of the list. You've got couple of 24 hours in sobriety.
Yeah,
Do you mind sharing?
32 years.
32 years of sobriety. What, did you get sober when you were 3?
30.
I mean, Mom, you take the alcohol out of my little baby bottle. I think I'm an alcoholic.
No, I was 30.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
And you've been on this path for 30 plus years. And
Yep.
How many retreats do you take in? How often do you do a retreat?
Well, when I was at home and I wasn't driving, I would go to quite a few. We went to some in Wichita.
Okay.
Mostly women's retreats.
Okay.
And
I've
then,
never been to one of those.
Yeah. And then
not even invited.
The sponsorship line that I'm in, we have one every year.
Okay.
In the Kansas City area.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun. There's usually 30 to 50 of us.
Right.
So it's fun.
So what do you think of this retreat so far?
It's cool.
We're on Sunday morning now, but we had a jam-packed day full yesterday. Any good nuggets you came that you walked away with? So
Well,
far?
I love being in the nature.
Yeah,
around
we're
nature.
in a beautiful facility
Yes,
out here. Right?
I went outside this morning and there was a deer right outside the
that's
door.
awesome.
I was like, cool. But I like the theme of it too because I'm real big on nature, and the more seeds we plant, the better chance we have, I think. And because there's a lot of weeds, we still got to pick all the weeds out.
You got to weed that garden, right?
My character defects are there, but it's a matter of me picking the weeds out and getting, and not.
And weeds are relentless. Like I can pull a weed, but if I don't get the entire root, I get the dandelion in my lawn again.
Right. And you see the big giant tree out there that fell over.
Right.
So that could be me. If my roots aren't grounded, in the middle of
Great
AA,
metaphor.
then my tree's going to fall over.
Right,
Where am I going to be then? So I had a lot of roots in the beginning, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm getting it. I'm not getting it, but I kept coming back, kept going, and I got good sponsor, and we worked the steps again, and it just went inside deeper, and that made, for me, those roots got deeper and deeper, so I was able to grow.
Right.
And then, I share that growth with others.
Yeah, but you work it. You use the word work. I know. So we started that 6 o'clock Zoom meeting during the pandemic. And it's gone on for some 1,500 days since then. And you are a constant in that meeting, regardless of where you are. And that says volumes to me about your commitment to working the program. It's not like, it's like my sister says to me, you still go to those meetings? And I go, I'm still an alcoholic.
Yes.
It's working for me. Why would I stop doing something that's working for you? I'm living in bliss right now. And again, with tragedies and stresses and challenges in life, but I'm dealing with them. But overall, my world is bliss.
And what I like about that one is the fellowship. That's the only meeting I found on Zoom that has fellowship before and after, and that's what I miss out on.
Yes.
I do service work at my home group on Zoom, but I don't get fellowship.
Yeah.
And that's a big part for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a group.
Staying connected.
It's a great group.
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking as you were sharing, Mike, those, we have the privilege of working with some folks and, early sobriety, right, as a sponsor or even just paying attention in the rooms, right? You're on the court with people, right? You're on the court, you're in the game with them day to day, several times a day, every play, right? Hey, what should I do with this play? Why don't you try this? Why don't you try this, right? But as they get, further along the sober path, you don't need to connect 5 times a day, right? Like I talk to my sponsor once or twice a week now. Part of that is any situation I go to where I normally would have picked up the phone and called him, I already know his answer, right? I've got 9 years, 11 months, 3 weeks. I know his answer, right? So I don't need that on the court training, right? But as you get, as the sponsor gets more up in the bleachers, right, and watches the game, you start to watch people, the winners, stay on the court and take the shots after the game, right? Practice. They're relentlessly working on their game. But we see so many times, and I've got examples recently, right? I had such a good game, I don't need to stay after and make shots, Or, I'm just not feeling it, right?
Or I'm just not going to go to the gym at all.
Oh, I'm just not going to go to the game. I'll
Right.
skip this game, right? I'll
Right.
skip this game. I'll skip that game. I'll skip that game. Next thing you know, that's why I say keep coming back, right? Meeting makers make it, right? And when you start to pull away, right, and that's, I'm very aware. I used to go to 10 meetings a week. Now I go to 2, right? But I do a lot of other sober stuff throughout the week, right? So there's not a day goes by I don't do sober stuff.
Right.
But you watch them pull away, and all of a sudden, where are they? Oh, I relapsed, and another disastrous relapse. It is not hard to figure out. It's a pretty scientific equation. You keep coming, that's why your sister, why do you keep going?
Because it keeps working, right? So did you have relapse in your story early on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I've read the steps on the wall, and I was like, I can read the big book. I can do that.
So you were doing it on your own?
Trying. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Okay. And then I kind of did the function thing where I'd go to functions and go have fun, and and I'd go to meetings, but I wasn't really into it, I guess, so to speak. And then I got a sponsor, and she's like, first thing she said, you're going to get a service position. So I started selling grapevines, and then because you need a commitment. And because, most alcoholics aren't committed to much of anything. I wasn't. And so that was my start. And then I got a home group. I got a good sponsor. We started working the steps out of the big book, and my life started getting better. Right. And I had friends in AA, and I was having fun.
Right.
Yeah,
we talked last night at the meeting. We were at the bonfire meeting, right? And so we had a great bonfire meeting, and what dawned on me, because a lot of people said, oh, they had fun. And Glenn's voice was echoing in my head that I do a lot of things that they're not fun by definition, but I need to do the next right thing. And my share last night was, what really hit me as we were talking about fun is, my idea of fun is A, and B, it's not about the fun, but there's a fulfillment that comes with working the program. It's like going at the ice cream social. I mean, I could eat ice cream at home, and I'd have fun doing that, watching an episode of Seinfeld. That'd be fun to me. So it was work for me to be out with a group, but the fulfillment that I gained is unbelievable. Just it's priceless.
It is, because like you said, I hang out with the winners.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a winner.
Right.
And these people, like, we've all been in similar situations. And, with recovery, we have similar solutions, and for me, all the answers are in that big book, and I've read it over and over. And with the Zoom meeting, I've sponsored a lot of women on Zoom, and I just had to adapt to that because I was used to seeing my sponsor all the time.
Yeah, right.
And now we're on the phone or we're on Zoom or FaceTime, whatever, but we're still doing the deal.
Yeah, still doing the deal. Yeah, they didn't write about Zoom in the big book when it was written in 1934, but here we are, and we have to adapt to that.
Yeah.
So back to the retreat. What big takeaways have you kind of gravitated towards in this at this point in the retreat? What did you have an aha moment, an epiphany, or was it just kind of a general I got work to do kind of?
Well, this is kind of bad to say, but for a truck driver, homemade food is like gold.
Yeah, right.
So they had really good food here.
Oh, okay,
That's awesome.
You know what? Come for the food. Stay for the fellowship.
No, but it was good. But what was so cool is when I came in, I'm like, oh, I know you. Oh, I know you.
Yeah, right.
From Zoomers
Right,
that are
right.
here.
You have
And
another dimension.
oh my God,
Wow,
it's
you're
like
fat.
it's like I don't know. It's like an aha moment kind of thing. It's like you're real.
Yeah.
I get a hug.
Yeah, this girl said
You
this. She
know?
goes, "Oh my God, are you the Glenn from Zoom?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
And
yep.
it's so cool because you get here and you get hugs and you get the fellowship and the meetings, and you get to hear different perspectives of, everybody's come from a different place, but we're all here today
All right.
for the same reason.
That's right.
We're here for recovery.
Right.
That's what it's about.
And what's recovery? I mean, could you imagine life without
Oh, no.
recovery being part of it?
No, I went through a portion of my life without it,
Right.
and it was not good.
And I'm not talking about abstinence. I'm not talking about the void of alcohol or drugs. I mean, it's the life on top of. It's the experience of life on top of abstinence.
Because I
which
get
is
that
really
peace and
the-
serenity.
Yeah, right.
When I read the big book, or I pray, or I meditate, or I talk to another alcoholic, it's like I get that peace and that serenity, and I just love that feeling, And like I was kind of sharing last night, is that when things come up, I can go, okay, I'm powerless over that person. Or, this is how it's made my life unmanageable. That guy just pulled out in front of me, and, I could have hit him or whatever. And then I'm immediately like, God, please restore me to sanity.
Right.
So I don't sit here and be all pissed off at him the rest of the day.
And so everything you just said had nothing to do about alcohol. I mean,
Right.
that's the beauty of the program, the 12 steps. And I think it's like a bait and switch. I thought that early on. It's like, okay, so you want me focusing on this instead of focusing on my drinking. And it worked because I was focused on getting better at my core, and I didn't have time to have a drink. I had the opportunity. I just didn't have the desire.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah. Glenn, what was your big takeaway of the weekend so far? And you're from a small group or somebody speaking or the food? I mean, what was your...
Yeah, not the food. I mean, food's always cool, but I get good food anywhere. But one, I think it impresses upon me, my number one is how I unplug, how committed I am to sobriety, where I unplug from my world, which is busy, a lot of responsibility, a lot of to-dos, and I choose to unplug from there to focus on my number one priority, which is to stay sober. Mm-hmm. So that's a very continuous, obvious reminder to me. My world, I don't care. I said, I am out of pocket. What are you doing? Because I'm never out of pocket, right? I'm out of pocket. Well, till when, right?
But we need you.
Right, and I don't tell anybody what I'm doing, right? So that's number one. Second thing is what we were just talking about. I leave for most things, and Jen's like, hey, have fun. I'm like, this isn't fun, right? Like I'm not even sure what fun is, right? But I do the next right thing regardless of how I feel. And later on, it catches up like, oh, that was really amazing. I'm glad I did that, right?
Do you ever go back and say, hey, that was fun?
Once out of 20.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, yes, that was fun. Or yes, I'm going to have fun, right? But it's not, this isn't fun. This is rewarding. I'm not sure how you separate that. And then, for me to connect with people that I've had relationships with over Zoom, right? And it's funny, yesterday I was pulling up and I see the tractor trailer pulling up.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, God, Kelly is actually here,
yeah,
right?
Right.
And so I'm like, because all those Zoom meetings where Kelly was driving the tractor trailer across country somewhere, right?
Yeah, all you see is the big wheel.
Who knows where she was at, right?
Right?
And it just makes it real, right? And then those breakout, the whole seeds, right? I didn't really get that at first. I had to think through that, and I did some work, and as I prepared for my little session, it really made sense to me, right? The actions, what we did, right? And that's what we're all about. What did we do? Right? That's why we love having Kelly on to say that's what it was, and this is what I did, and this is where it's at today, and this is what I still do, And so there are a couple things. I think the breakouts, for some reason, were the most powerful breakouts I've ever had at a retreat. Don't know what it is. I think they went to a different level.
There's a level of authenticity.
Yeah, or maybe I was at a different level where I actually
there you go.
paid attention, empathized, cared, loved on people. And I've got some numbers I'm going to follow up on and keep the conversation going.
That's
right?
great.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does indeed. Kelly, what would you... So you could have drove this weekend for money, right? But you didn't. You made the choice, as Glenn said, to be here. What do you want to tell the person who's thinking, retreat, I don't have time for that. I'm busy. I got events. I've got, I'm early in sobriety. I'm middle sobriety. What do you encourage them to maybe unplug, to take a shot at a retreat?
Definitely. If I were in my first 6 months, year sobriety, I said, hell no, I ain't going. But my sponsor would have said, yeah, we're going.
Yeah, and you listened.
Yes,
right.
But it's amazing because of the, we get personal here with each other, and it's a level of intimacy that is nowhere else in the world, I don't think. Because we talk on
Facebook.
Yeah, we talk on a level from
TikTok.
from the inside, how we're doing on the inside, and once we get into a conversation, it's just amazing how close we get, I think. And for me, I can shut off the whole rest of the world. I don't have to have my phone, my iPad, anything. It's like being in the here and the now.
All right.
And in the present moment with the person I'm with or people. I love that because I don't get that out when I'm driving. I don't get that.
Yeah, and I think people pick that up about you because you are focused. You're not like, got the phone in your hand, you're not changing emails when we're talking, you're really there.
I was taught that.
I think that's a real value that you bring.
Yes,
to the
I was taught that. My sponsor, if she caught me in a meeting with the phone.
With the phone, you'd be in
oh,
trouble.
Lord. There was this guy in Topeka that he was at a meeting, and he was constantly looking, constantly.
Right.
And I'd walk by, and I put my hand over his phone.
How'd that turn out?
Oh, he looked at me. He gave me
Yeah,
the dirtiest look. And then afterwards, though, I said, were you really in the meeting?
Right.
And he finally got it.
Yeah.
He's like, you're right.
You got to be in the moment.
You're
I love
right.
that.
Because how can I listen to you if I'm on my phone thinking about something else?
Multitasking.
Yeah. But I get the benefit of this moment with us here and now is not ever going to happen again.
Cannot be replaced.
This will be here till whenever. My phone will be
It's gonna
here till
replaced with
whenever.
the chip in your head. I mean,
Yeah.
what's next?
I can look at that any time of day, but I can't be here with you
Right.
any time of day.
Well, I'm
That's
glad
the
you were here
gift.
with us today.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Anything
Thanks
you
for
want to
having me.
anything you want to leave the listeners with, or are you good? Have you said it all?
Just say I love you. I'm glad y'all are listening. This is a really good thing that's going on, and if you ever, need to be in recovery, this
Look
is
us
the
up.
place to be.
We got plenty of we
Yes.
got plenty of resources on our website, www.sober.coffee, and we got plenty of resources and Zooms.
Yes.
The 6 o'clock Zoom there's a link to it on the website, so you can come check
Yeah.
Kelly out.
Resource tab.
AAMokina.fellowship.org.
Yep. Check it out.
Lots of
Kelly, thank you.
resources.
All good stuff. Thank you, Kelly.
Have a great
Thank
one.
you.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@sober.coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.